Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video in the UiPath Selector series. In this series, we are looking at how exactly UiPath identifies the element on the user interface screen. That means that we are talking about the UiPath Selector. We started the lectures with what is UiPath Selector. We talked about IDX, tags, attributes. Then we tried to understand a deep dive in the UI Explorer. We have seen how exactly can we use the Property Explorer. Post that we have seen how we can use that some activities like wait attribute and set attribute with the help of Property Explorer. We try to differentiate between the full versus partial selector, try to use index, and now we are looking at how exactly can we deal with the difficult situations where the selectors are not valid. In the previous video we have seen how exactly can we use the anchor based activity to tackle with the difficult situation. Today in this video we are going to see how exactly can we make the use of UI Explorer to create a relative selector. So what you are looking at the screen, this is a relative selector which we have created. So this is what we are going to see today, that apart from anchor based activity, how exactly can I use a relative selector to tackle the difficult selectors in UiPath. And before getting started, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel by clicking on this button. So let's get started. To start with the relative selector, let me first go to my Edge browser, and I have a website which is open in front of me which is called the RPA challenge. This is the same website which we tried to automate with the help of Anchor Base. So I'll just repeat the objective. So this is an website where whenever you click on the submit button, the layout of the website changes and also changes the selector. In the last videos of the series, we have seen that how exactly can we use an anchor based activity where we have to type, if I have to type something here, I was using this guy as an anchor. So today on the continuation of that, I am just going to show you an alternative that how you can use an relative selector. So the objective here is I have to just type the first name even if the layout changes. Okay, so next I'll go to my UiPath Studio. I have a sequence open in front of me. Now the next thing is I'll go to the design tab and I'll click on the UI Explorer. Now this will open the UiPath UI Explorer for me, that is responsible for to get the selector, and we can do a lot of stuff here. So in case you are not sure how to use UI Explorer, I have a dedicated video on my channel where I'm exploring each and every button of the UI Explorer. Go ahead and watch this video. I'll put the link in the description and you can refer that. Okay, now let us come back to the website and we'll see the problem statement. Okay, I'll go and indicate on element and I will just point it to the RPA challenge site and I'll point it to the first name. Okay, now if you'll notice, so UiPath will generate a selector for me which is having an ID. Now let me just quickly go ahead and open a notepad. Okay, I'll just copy the selector from the notepad to this guy. Okay, so this is the existing selector. Now what happened if I just click on the submit button, right? The layout has changed, and if I just click on the validate to check whether the available selector is valid or not, it says the selector is not valid. Okay, now as an option I have always, I can go here and click on this guy which says indicate element. Okay, and I will again indicate it to the first name label like this. Now if you'll notice, UiPath has generated a new selector. Let us go back to the existing one, and if you compare, we clearly can see that this web page is changing the ID every time we click on the refresh, or every time I click on the submit button, or every time I just click refresh. Okay, so how do we tackle that? In the previous video we have seen I was using an anchor activity, but do we have an alternative? Yes, we do have the same set of property I can use here also. So in the previous one, when I was using the anchor activity, we dragged and drop an anchor activity and did all the stuff. Today I have this element. Now if you'll see at the top, we have one button which is called the indicate anchor. Okay, so what is an anchor? The anchor is an element which is something on the web page which is not changing dynamically. Okay, and why I have chosen the name, let us just see the reason for that. I'll just go on indicate element and I will click on the name button like this, first name. Okay, so UiPath has generated a selector for me, right? Now if I go here and click on the submit like this, now it is somewhere here. And now if I go here and click on the validate, UiPath is still able to validate the selector. How do I know? I can click on this highlight button and UiPath is clearly able to identify, right? So So for the first name text box, I can clearly use the first name label, right? So now again going back, so I will just point it to the text box where I have to write my name or any text for that matter. Now you can see we have a different ID. Now I have an option to indicate the anchor, and just now we have seen that we can specify this guy as an anchor. Okay, so I have clicked on that guy, and now just wait for the UiPath UI Explorer to load. Now if you will see, we have got a new selector. So my existing selector were like this. Now UiPath has added something on top of that, that is the additional attribute for the first name and all those stuffs, right? But now recently we have seen that this ID is not stable, right? So I can go here and I will just uncheck this ID from here. Let me click on the validate button to check whether the available selector is valid or not. Okay, so it says it's valid. Let me click on highlight, and it's valid, it is able to identify. Okay, we will go back to the web page. I'll click refresh, and now the layout has changed. Let me go back to UI Explorer and now click on validate. Okay, UiPath is validating the selector which we have created. Okay, and if I click on highlight, it is clearly able to identify the element which we want. Now the question arises, how can I use this selector in UiPath Studio to type or to do any of the operations, right? So what I can simply do is, whenever we have to type, we simply use an activity which is called the type into activity. I will drag and drop it here. In the type into activity, if I go to the properties, you will see the selector property is blank by default, right? So what I can simply do is I will open this property. I'll go to my UI Explorer, select this guy, hit Ctrl plus C to copy the selector. I'll come back to my UiPath Studio in the selector and I'll simply paste it. That is it, right? And I'll simply click OK. Now it is asking that what is the text you want to type here. Okay, so now that is why we are getting this red arrow, because it is asking that what is the text I should type. So we are just typing UiPath. Okay, now let me save everything, and I have this page. So let me just go here and run the file. Okay, I'll minimize and I'll open this Explorer. Let us just wait for the bot to fire up. So the bot has typed UiPath correctly. Now let me go ahead and change the layout. Go back again to the UiPath Studio. I will go here and run the file. Okay, now it is correctly typing in the first name field. So what we did, we are just using a relative selector like this. So how do we create relative selector? We created with the help of the UI Explorer. Okay, so now the question arises, what is the difference between an anchor and the relative selector? The only difference is if we'll just use the anchor based activity, right? So I am not going to go into details, so because we have already discussed this in the previous video. In case you have not watched, you can just watch the video which I will link in the description. Okay, so if you'll see, we have to specify two activity here, and here I have to just specify one single activity, and I got the selector directly from the UI Explorer. Okay, and in anchor base you have other options as well, right? In anchor base you have the option to specify the position of the anchor. Here it is already taken care by the UI Explorer. So now you can use either one of this as per your requirement. So this completes the video for the relative selector. I hope you got an idea that how you can use the relative selector. So basically in this selector series, now we are discussing that how we can manage the difficult situation. So that is all for this video. I'll wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel. This channel is here. You will see all the different kinds of videos available. As of now, we are looking at this series, the selectors in UiPath. And in case you have any questions or concern, you can always drop me and note on my email ID, or you can just mention in the comments. So thank you for watching and happy automation.